Wait 1 minute before you move. I need to ask you something. Where did you bury it? I know that it sounds kind of broad, but let's have a quick conversation. This year, I know a lot of us came in and said that this was going to be the year that I wrote that book. I wrote the business plan. I got the new job. I got peace of mind. I got my GED. I was going to get all A's. This is the year that I was going to graduate. We said that. We said that, but for some reason, this year we buried it. Not only this year did we bury it, but last year we buried it. The year before that we buried it. And even so, we buried it in places here, and there. This year, I am encouraging you, I'm challenging you to go back and pick it up. But this time, I'm not telling you just to go back and pick it up, to make it die again, to bury it again. But you need to go back and pick it up and make sure that it lives. Make sure that it has progress. Make sure that it does what it needs to do. Because if you abort this mission, there are thousands of people that will miss out on what you buried. No. What you have, what you buried, they'll miss out on it. So go back and pick it up. You have a responsibility with what you have on the inside of you. You got to go back and get it. Go get it. If it's with your hands, if it's with a shovel, go back and get it. Where did you bury it? Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Please, I hope you feel welcome because we have a special guest with us tonight. And if you guys don't know who he is, I promise you, you're going to want to know who he is before the night is over with. But before we start, my name is Demetrius Dew, and we came tonight to have another speaker talk about unorthodox routes to success. You see it at the top. We have various people coming, and they're talking about ways that they've obtained success, but they've done it a little bit different. They've added their twist to it. They've added their approach to it. They've actually added, let's say, their swag, right? They added their flavor. So tonight we have Tim from Success Team here tonight. So without further ado, I don't want to even take away from his accolades, but I want him to say it. Tim, if you can, please introduce yourself to people before we jump into our questions tonight.
Man, yes, sir, man. I appreciate you, man. First and foremost, for having me on, man. It's an honor, it's a privilege. Definitely a great opportunity, and looking to have a great evening. But as stated, my name is Tim Behling. I am the founder of Success Team, a 501c3 nonprofit organization specializing in educational youth development. And pretty much, man, I'm a guy who decided not to let life happen to him, man, but to make life happen. And by doing so, making that choice, choosing this way of life, I dove into my love for community outreach, my love for youth mentorship, and my love for making a difference, in and out of a profession and personal. So that's who I am.
So, Tim, we literally jump into some questions tonight, but I want to ask this question because you and I are not far in age from each other. And for you to take on this responsibility and this weight, right, of having your nonprofit and being that next person in line, what went into your mind, or what goes into your mind when you think about, hey, as Tim Behling, I literally have been purposed with the responsibility to oversee all these things at a young age. Is it intimidating sometimes? Is it giving you moments like shy away, like maybe I wasn't supposed to do it this early? So what gives you that confidence to like really just walk into it comfortably and confidently?
I mean, it's facts, to be honest with you. Like, I have come to the realization that me making the decision to do it this early may have hindered other parts of my life from developing the way I needed it to, like personally wise, or things that I haven't, traveled as much as I would like to, just because my mindset was on work and improving the lives of other people. So, what I'm saying? Of course, and that's with every decision, though. You're not gonna be able to give 100% to every area of life that you care about, but there's a time and a season for everything. And like for me, I just feel like this is the season, because in all aspects of life, man, we talk about how we want to make sure that we're leaving a legacy, but at that same time frame, we don't know how long we're gonna be here. Mm-hmm. So like, what I'm saying, when it comes to age and choosing whether or not, this is the right time, this might be your only time, right? So like for me, it was just like understanding and looking at people and not thinking any task could be bigger than me, or thinking that demographics, right, should be in the place of me pursuing something that I care about. And plus, to be honest with you, man, I'm big on faith, man. God told me to do it now, so
Mm,
I'm not really in position to tell him no,
yeah,
right? So
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Of course, like experience and age definitely brings more clarity, more connections, more partnerships, and as you grow, you continue to build things that allow your path to be smoother throughout the time frame. But you know, if I didn't get started at the time frame that I did, then we wouldn't be having this conversation now.
Yeah, yeah. So Tim, you said something real powerful that God said do it now. Like, you
Yeah,
know what? Then and later don't even sound right. It's not even an option, but
yeah,
right now I'm telling you do it. So a lot of times people may hear now, but they hear now and they may not have now attached to a strategy. They may not
yeah,
have now attached to a location. How did you get to
yeah,
that place where after he said right now, you then knew that hey, maybe he's saying now in this specific area, in this specific demographic, these specific targeted students, this age group. How did you know? Like how did it come about after he said right now? How did the whole idea of you now flourishing right now?
Mhm. I mean, pretty much, man. Like we started from the grassroots, and like we're always gonna be grassroots. To be honest with you, just in the way that we come about things. It was really just an understanding. Like the way we got started with Success Team was understanding that you know, of course, dreams and goals matter. And like it started with me. It's just like if I understood I had a dream and a goal, so like it led me to believe that other people may have the same. You know what I'm saying? It just made it make sense for me. But yeah, just in regards like to the system, man, we did everything wrong.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah, yeah,
honest with you. Or
yeah.
whatever. It's just like because it's hard for you to be perfect when you can't even be bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard for you to be, you know what I'm saying? It's hard for you to know the right answer when you haven't even experienced the wrong side of things or like felt it for yourself. And it's just like you can look at examples, but like if we're understanding it correctly, like the things that we're supposed to do, the calling that we have, the purpose that we have is strictly for us. So
Yeah.
it's just like, man, you can do your best to prepare as much as you possibly can, but like they say, man, everybody got a plan to take a hit in the mouth. So it's just like everybody has a plan, but until you step your feet in that water, you don't know how cold it is.
Right. So before we say anything else, I
Yeah,
need for you all, if you're watching this now or you're watching this later, make sure you share this with somebody because Tim Behling, I promise you, he's already started and he's on the track right now
yeah,
to share some gems. And I'm pretty sure that if you have a dream, if you have a goal to start a nonprofit or even just your own personal brand, I'm pretty
yeah.
sure that this information can help you. So do me a favor and share this. But Tim, let's get back to the question. So we say right now, and after
Mhm.
is right now, you say let's go through a period of making mistakes and just figuring out what grassroots were coming from the ground up. How did the name Success Team come? Right?
Yeah,
I mean, we see so many hashtags about just success and people
yeah,
wanting to obtain success, but you said, you know, we're going to make this the name of my
mhm,
organization, Success Team, and
yeah,
I can pretty much see from the reaction of people from what I see on social media from your
yeah,
events, and we'll get into that, but there
yeah,
is an ownership that's taken from Success Team. You know,
yeah, man.
it's just not Tim's Success Team, but everybody's like, you know, I'm a part of this team. So where did that name come about?
hmm Exactly that, man. And to be honest with you, it's just that's just another blessing because that's what we wanted,
Yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? When you can call it whatever you want to. You want people to have that reaction of like this is something that not only am I participating in, but this is mine too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just like because we create that family environment, but it literally started from understanding like what we were trying to do, like following your dreams, finding your purpose, doing something that's bigger than you, and having a commitment to something that's bigger than you is
Yeah.
all geared towards your individual definition of what success is, right? So
Yeah.
like we're not trying to define it for anybody, but like man, success is the key. And for me, it was impact. So it's like, okay, man, success is important. It's prioritized. Impact is what I mean by it, right? And then
Hmm.
the team part came from it, from understanding that we aren't in this world alone. Like going back to, I understood I had dreams, but I also understand that other people have dreams as well. So let's do it together, right? But then at the same time frame, man, it was just a backing of it because I don't believe in the self made mindset. Like
Yeah.
I don't think anybody has achieved anything just by themselves. And even if there was no human contribution to it, God was always with you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that, like, for
Always.
me, starting off with the idea, it was just like, man, it's not just me, man. It's me and God, because He blessed me with that thought process. So it's just like, man, I wanted to acknowledge that in everything that we do is the fact that, man, like, God is not only with us, but I just don't believe in the self-made mindset of it. And plus, if you want to go, if you want to go somewhere, man, go alone, right? But if you want to go far, then what I'm saying, take somebody with you. And
Yeah.
one fun fact, man, that people don't even know is that originally, like, it's spelled together now. So like success team is one word in regards like to the organization and how we spell it. But originally it was two words, man. And like I was just like, no, we're gonna put them together because
Mm.
we want this to be seen how we say it, but then also
Yeah.
too we want to understand the unity between both words and like how we get down to success team.
I love it. I love that whole idea of bringing it together now and merging and unifying the words. That's creative. And like I said, man, from the pictures I see, from the videos I see, people take ownership of success team. It's like
Yeah,
I'm a part of this team. I feel like not only am I contributing, but I'm also giving, you know what I'm saying, to an extent where I'm seeing that reciprocated in other people. So I
yeah,
mean it's beautiful. Tim, tell me about your first event that you've ever had. I
yeah, man.
definitely want to talk about your events now,
Yeah,
and we're gonna get there because what you're doing is phenomenal, and I don't want
yeah,
to miss out on all this stuff because if you guys see his Facebook and Instagram, you'll see the great work that he's doing. But Tim, let's go
appreciate it.
back. What was your very first event? What was it like, and where did you have it? How did it feel?
Yeah. Nah, man. So like the very first event, it will always stick with me because I can tell you and everything. What you see now is not what it was back then,
Right?
right? Our very first event will always stick with me because it broke me,
Yeah.
right? We had zero people show up. so like So like, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, man, they don't understand like that like how that works, man, in regards to it. It's just like first event is always significant because that's the one that honestly spiraled the emotional and the passion behind how we get down now.
Yeah.
Right. Because
Yeah.
like it sat me down, man, for 2 weeks. It was a situation where like I was really confused because I thought I checked all boxes. I was like, man, what are
Mm.
we supposed to be doing? Sat me down for
Yeah.
2 weeks, man. I ain't talked. I ain't really respond too much, man. Like I didn't plan anything. It wasn't like what we got going on next, right? I
Yeah.
didn't know whether I was gonna stop, continue, what I'm saying, whatever it was gonna be, right? And then like, man, one of those days I was just like, nah, I ain't going out like that. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Just in regards like to the results that we wanted, but then also the promise that I made to pursue something that I put my heart into. And it was just like, but then also too, man, just from like a man standpoint, bro, like it's not like I like you only lose when you choose to stop going, right? You only
Yeah.
lose when you choose to let that loss be your final what I'm saying, place of resting. And that's a situation for me, man. I'm not really having it. But basically, what I'm saying, just to get to the logistics of it, it was supposed to be a networking event for
Yeah.
millennials, right? To connect with each other and create plans and partnerships to be able to
Mm-hmm.
go out and impact the community. But I'm saying, at the time frame, right? I had not given anybody an example or a reason to even come and give their energy to what we were doing.
Oh
So
man.
it was just like, man, that was a situation. And I believe that's why we got the results that we got. And it was held at Claflin University.
Yeah.
Great partnership. I'm saying, with one of my guys, one of my friends, Xavier. I'm pretty sure he still remember this too. And I'm saying, he's one of the guys that started the process from the beginning. The work ethic was always there, but at the
Yeah.
same time, just because you're doing good doesn't mean you're doing enough. So it's just like, man, we got to realize that.
Ooh, that was a gem.
Yeah,
Just because you're doing good doesn't mean you're doing. And so Tim, that was really good. So tell me from a standpoint of after you got knocked down and you're like,
yeah,
man, I thought this event was gonna go like this, and after you restructure, you say people didn't know about it.
yeah.
So how did you take the information and then build to your very next event? Like what so even from a volunteer perspective, because so, sometimes the people around you have to believe in what you have going on as well. So
Facts.
like how did you get up and say, you know what, everybody, we're going to regroup. This is what we're going to do. I'm planning da 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 da. What was the time period too? Let me ask that. Tim,
Yeah.
what was the time period from that first event to that second one?
Yeah. So like basically, okay, so we did we did the first event, I believe it was in March, right? So we did that again. That was that. The second event was our first annual back to school book bag drive, right? So like we went from and we found the secret sauce because so happily I can announce that we just finished our sixth one. So like man, we found the secret sauce, man. Now like from us from that standpoint of not understanding what to do and how to do it, right? I would say if we go from March to August, okay? So that's what I'm saying 3 to 8, so that's around 45 months or so,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Within that 4 month time frame, right? We decided to keep it going and get that work done, and it turned out to be one of the most successful things that we've ever done because 6 years later we're still impacting our community, impacting our youth with that same formula.
6 years later, you still, and I just saw the book bag drive photo, so it looked like it's
Yeah,
not your it's not your average book bag drive.
nah.
It's like it's like a book bag drive tied into a career expo in a way. So
Yeah,
how did that idea of like we're gonna have you come here pick up book bags and material, but while you're
yeah.
doing that, I'm gonna give you this full circle experience. Did that happen in did you always have that vision in the beginning, or was it something that kind of gradually evolved into just a framework of it?
Nah, gradual, man. Again, you never know. You never really get to get better, man, until you get started. So
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying, from the standpoint, the first one was honestly, we were on a sidewalk with a bunch of tables at our
Wow.
local career center. And like basically it was a drive-through thing. You pull up, get what you need, and then we'll see you next year. Right? They got a chance to interact with us, of course, take as many pictures as you possibly can. We had,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying, a food truck out there just in case you want some ice cream or something like that on your way. But it was really, really quick. And I think that's what people appreciated was the fact that like we didn't want nothing from you, right? We just wanted to give. And it was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
throughout my time frame, to be honest with you, nothing against anybody who has a formula to make back to school programs or anything like that. But like I ain't come here for to wait 3 hours to get the stuff that I needed. Whatever, to be honest with you. And it's just like for me, it was just like after understanding what our community liked, because it wasn't just me that felt that way, and understanding like what we were actually trying to do. We're not trying to bait and switch. We're not trying to draw you in or anything like that. We're here because we want to give you what you need, right? It's
Yeah,
back to school season. You need back to
yeah,
school supplies. That's what we want to give you. And we did it that way for, around 4 to 5 years or so, 4 years, of course. What I'm saying? We kept that and we just kept growing just the amount of backpacks we were able to give and the amount of time we were able to spend with the community. But at the same
yeah,
time, the objective never changed, that we're just hosting events because we're trying to give you what you need, right? We want that relationship to understand that we're here for you. And like
right.
us going that grassroots way allowed the community to understand that too. Like they ain't just out here for these pictures. They not just out here trying to bait us in to do something. They're not just saying anything because, to be honest with you, whatever. I didn't. It wasn't even mandatory for you to say thank you or
Right,
whatever. Like back then,
right, right,
so
right.
it's just like you come and get what you need and you out. But like as the world changes, we have to understand that the needs of people change as well.
For
And if you're
sure.
in the business of making a difference in the lives of people and making a difference in the lives of youth and giving back to your community and ensuring that your organization is impactful, then you're going to have to develop your programs to have more layers to it to
Yeah.
provide and give the solutions to what is needed. So like our sixth one has been in preparation for about 2 years now. Unfortunately, due
Mm.
to the global pandemic, what I'm saying, we couldn't execute it in 2020, but it was scheduled to go the exact same route in 2020. So we were able to do it in 2021, man, just being consistent, staying up to date and making sure that it was possible. But at the same time, it's just like after being away from your resources, after being away from your connections, we want to make sure that we reconnect those, because not only do our students and our families need their back to school supplies, but they also need to connect with tutors. They need to connect with colleges.
For
They need
sure.
to connect
For
with
sure.
people who are able to direct them to what their next step is be and enhance their success as much as possible. So yeah, we're gonna give you your school supplies. We're gonna give you what you need. We're not gonna stray away from that. But then we're gonna give you the resources that you need too. And
Yeah.
then like I'm saying, it just stays with that platform. Like man, all of our events are catered towards giving the audience that is there what they need.
Yeah, and I think that approach, that multifaceted approach, is very, very beneficial to a person that may not have time to talk to
Yeah,
you all day. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? All I got is about 10 minutes. I actually caught a ride here. You know what I'm saying? I
There
didn't
you go.
drive. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? My
yeah.
aunt, she just dropped me off. She's outside, so I can't talk to
Hmm.
you that long. But if I get this book bag and I see this
Yeah,
college, that college, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm exposed to something that I have never seen before. And so it
that's
gives
right.
me a reason, like you said, to reconnect. Tim,
Hmm.
let's shift real quick and let's talk about your male. I don't want to quote it wrong, but the
Yeah,
brotherhood, the male event that you had that was
yeah,
massive,
yeah, man.
massive.
Yeah,
And if you want to just unpack that just a little bit, because it was a 2 day event, right?
4.
4 day.
Yeah, 4 day.
Wow.
Yeah,
Can you just unpack that really quickly? Just kind of
yeah.
talk about the whole concept of that event, man.
Yeah, man. It's called Big Brother, a fellowship of young men looking to become real men. And basically, it's geared towards our young men, ages 13 to 18, 14 to 18, that middle school and high school age range that understand that, manhood isn't something that they should be afraid of. We want them to understand that. You know what I'm saying? We want them to understand that when we say masculinity, we really mean leadership. And we
Yeah,
want them to understand that, like, it's a situation where, like, any young man, because me personally, what I'm saying? I see him, and like I've never met a young man who didn't want to grow up and succeed in his ideology of what a real man is. You know what I'm saying? Because that's objective. So like
yeah,
understanding that, and me coming from my background of being, coming from a single parent household, raised by my mother, I'm saying, my grandmother, and understanding how what a man is from their perspective, right? Not necessarily having a man myself that I could look up to, not necessarily having a role model or mentor that I can look up to, right? That's still problems and holes in our communities today. So it's just like it's never what. You know what I'm saying? It's never who. When it comes down to the solution, it's always what and how. Right.
yeah.
So like a Big Brother, man, yeah, June 24th through 27th. That's pretty much the time frame that we did it this year. Just to confirm, 2022 is on the way.
Okay,
So just to confirm that, right? But at the
just to
same
confirm it.
time, yeah, it was mainly basically a 4 day weekend. We got it, guys, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And, they go through workshops, they go through seminars, they go through interactive team building, they learn public speaking, they learn basic mechanics, how to tie ties, what is a man to them, how to treat women, what I'm saying, how to be a leader to lead others. The NFL partnered with us this year. Super Bowl champion Ryan Smith came down and gave a message on how to actually achieve your goal of being a professional athlete. Chick-fil-A came down this year and gave us a message in regards like to leadership, but also sponsored a lunch from us and things of that nature. The NAACP was there, Alpha Phi fraternity was there, all the great speakers across from South Carolina, pretty much
Name
anybody
drop
we
it.
looked up
Name
to,
drop it,
man.
Tim.
Yeah,
Name
man.
drop it, Tim.
Patrick Patterson was there, man, and things of that nature. Lester Young was there. Okay, Eugene White, president of NAACP, Aiken County chapter was there, man. Adam Knight of Chick-fil-A was there, man, and things of that nature. Terrence Tucker stopped by and graced our presence. It was
There we go.
beautiful, man. It was beautiful. Everybody, came together, and that's really what we want to show our young men. We got to be what we want them to become, and for them to not only see, one man giving back to them and showing that they care, but seeing hundreds of men come
Yeah.
together and showcase brotherhood is actually something that's real, man. That's an experience.
And how many guys did you all have for those 4 days?
100 plus. Like if we specifically, I think it was 102.
Mm.
Yeah,
Tim, this is a great question, man, because we've been in the pandemic for a while now.
yeah,
And with the organization that thrives off of in-person interaction,
yeah,
how have you kind of like swindled and pivot and kind of like timed it? Like it's almost like double dutch, or you see
yeah,
somebody doing a jump, right? They're like, when do you
yeah.
jump in?
Right.
Maybe this month. How did you know like June was the month, like to jump in right
Yeah.
then?
Man, to be honest, we made that decision in January. So like
Yeah,
I knew January was the month. It was just like it was being decisive. And like that's what it's all about when it comes to leadership. Did I 100% know that we were going to be able to execute? Nah. But like being decisive, because we're always up in the air about will we, won't we? being
Yeah.
decisive and saying, yeah, we're gonna take the time and we're gonna commit to being able to do this no matter what we gotta do, some type of way we're gonna be able to execute this, right? It's just based on your hunger and your passion for being able to do it, but then also your faith, right?
Yeah.
It's a big thing to where like you can't control the outside forces of how the world is gonna go. But at the same time, man, I think we were like within my city, you know what I'm saying, Aiken and things like that. I think we were the first organization to say, hey, we're gonna do all of our programs this year. And we're gonna
Mm.
operate as safe as we possibly can. We're gonna
Yeah.
adjust and we're gonna do what we need to do in order to operate as safely as we can. We're gonna use the advantages that our partners have in regards to COVID-19 protocols and mitigations that were already in place. We're gonna mask if we need to. We're gonna social distance if we need to. Like we committed to whatever needs to be done, we're gonna do it. And that's
Yeah.
pretty much just how we got there.
Yeah. And I totally respect that, because this whole 2 years now, going on
Yeah,
2 years, well, actually about to go on two now, is like, man, it's really been up in the air. And if you didn't time it right, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying, you may not have caught that window, especially in South Carolina, because South Carolina has
yeah.
experienced some of the most fluctuations when it comes to COVID-19.
Right.
Tim, as we close in a little bit, I want to ask a question, because I think this is a question that could go into multiple avenues of just professions, right?
Yeah,
So nonprofit and community building is such a very popular avenue, right? Very
yeah,
popular. And I think for some people, sometimes if you don't find your lane in the
yeah,
in the in the community building world, you'll
yeah.
see it as being overcrowded and oversaturated,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
What is your approach
Mm.
to always remind yourself that though there are, let's minimize it right now, though there are thousands of people in South Carolina alone,
Yeah.
Success Team has a responsibility
Yeah.
to kids in this area. what
Yeah.
what keeps you settled in knowing that you still have purpose and you're still relevant?
Man, it's really just the reaction of the community, to be honest with you. It's just like, man, you'll know you're needed. You'll know you're impactful based on the results that the community say. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? As
yeah,
long as the
yeah.
community gives you a thumbs up, then you're good to go. But then also too, like never being stagnant enough to think that what you did previously is enough to do what you do now. Right? Like
Yeah.
that's not what it is. Pretty much, man. Every time we get an opportunity, pretty much every winter, we go back to our programs and think about like how can we get better? What else can
Hmm.
we add? How can we increase effectiveness? How can we increase impact? So like really, man, I'll take this page out of Tom Brady, bro. Like the our greatest accomplishment is our next one because
That's good. Yeah.
what we did this year, what we did last year, even and I ain't, you know what I'm saying, even thinking about the thoughts that I have now is nothing compared to next year,
Yeah.
you know? So it's just like it's a beautiful thought to always think that you can get better. And it's just like, man, I think that's one thing that people have to own in on is not only just doing it, but doing it right. And it's
Mm.
like you're not
Yeah.
able to understand again, going back to the first point, you're not able to understand how to do something right until you're okay with doing it wrong and realizing how you can grow. So,
Yeah.
I mean, hey man, you know what I'm saying? It's just the reaction of the community, never being stagnant with growth, and then understanding that, man, the problem that you are solving is the problem that needs to be solved. Because a lot of us get into this industry or get into anything at all thinking that you solving a problem that needs to be solved. When in actuality, you need to be sowing your seeds and looking around your community, seeing the problems that people actually care about, see the things that need your help, and then that's where you align with your purpose because you're actually being impactful and you're fulfilled because you're able to see results based on solving a real problem.
That's a huge nugget, bro. That needs to be a workshop in itself.
Mm.
Is really honing in on solving the right problems.
Yeah,
Like you said, your organization may be solving problems, but what does the community look at as problems? And
right.
how can you like really dial in as an
Yeah,
organization to say they have these problems, let's address the following because that's what they need. That's great. That's a great comment, man. But I
Yes,
see
sir.
we're at our time, Tim. I'm not gonna hold you up, but is there anything else that you, as we kind of had this conversation and we went a couple of different avenues just because of everything that you have to share,
Yeah.
is there anything else as we kind of conclude this conversation that you may want to say to the audience? Maybe you're talking to some kids, right? They've been going to school and they may be virtual again, and
Yeah.
they're like, Tim, we just left laptops a couple of weeks ago, and
Yeah.
I got tired of Zoom. I got tired of getting on the camera, but we may be going back. What is your encouragement to those boys and girls that are exhausted, bro?
Yeah, man. Like I would say, just realize that, man. Like every day is a great day to get better and understand your purpose and things that you're doing, right? Because a lot of times, and this is strictly for everybody who's tired of Zooms. You know what I'm saying? Our students who are worn out, man, sitting behind that computer. It's just
Yeah,
like, man, you're your goal to walk across that stage, your goal to succeed in education, your goal to get to that next level and to be able to accomplish your dream, whatever it may be, does not depend on the place and how you got to get it done. You have to clear your mind from the where you are to where you're going,
yeah,
right? And just because you're sitting behind a computer screen, I understand. We all get tired of sitting behind that computer screen. Don't underestimate the fact that like you can be selfish and flip that mindset to understanding that yeah, I'm sitting behind this computer screen, but I got an opportunity, right, to take in anything that I could possibly need to get me to that next level. Like don't allow the circumstance to forget that this is for you. Like, don't allow the circumstance to allow you to forget that, like, yo, I'm going to do my absolute best and take every 100% advantage of this opportunity to get better, to get where I'm going, right? Don't get stuck. My mother told me this, and I'll never forget because it was raining really, really hard one time when we were on our way to Florida. I was like, Ma, you get like, it's really raining. You gonna stop? She's like, you never stop in the storm because you'll never get the chance to see the sunlight. And it's just
ooh,
like, man, from that standpoint, it's just like, man, don't stop your mind to absorb, you know what I'm saying, the problems around you. You know what I'm saying? Keep your vision clear by looking forward and seeing the outcomes that could be if you lock in and get it done no matter what, man. Like don't let nothing stop you. But like other than that, man, just feel free to connect with me, at Tim Behling on every platform, www.successteam.org on every platform, right? We're not far away. And we want to make sure that we connect and make a difference in the lives of our youth, make a difference in the lives of our community, and showcase love all the way around, man.
hey man, this is Unorthodox Route to Success with Tim, the founder, CEO for Success Team, the man
Yeah,
himself. I appreciate you for coming on, bro. I'm pretty sure, I'm certain that if there wasn't a notepad handy while this
yeah.
video was going on, that when they do the playback, they're gonna have it handy. So we appreciate you. If you all are watching this, thank you for joining us. If you all are watching the playback, leave a comment. Tell Tim, hey, I appreciate you. What you said impacted me, and I definitely can use it. So you all have a great night. We'll talk to you soon on another episode of Unorthodox Routes to Success. Appreciate you.
Blessings, bro. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.